Hello, and welcome to Chicago's Maxwell Street Market. The market has become a fixture of Chicago commerce and culture. The open-air market that developed along its sidewalks has served as a cultural port of entry for immigrant groups arriving in Chicago since before the turn of the century. At the close of this century, it continues to serve primarily Hispanic, Asian, and African American vendors from the populations of Chicago. Named after Dr. Philip Maxwell in the mid-1800s, the neighborhood stretched for a mile west of Halsted, spilling onto adjoining streets from Taylor Street south to 15th Street. In 1912, the Chicago City Council formally certified the Maxwell Street Market as the official open-air market. The market responded to changes in the urban geography and the ethnic makeup of the vending population. But by 1957, a land clearance project approved for the South Dan Ryan Expressway resulted in the removal of the eastern portion of Maxwell Street. In 1966, the Roosevelt-Halsted area of the market was designated a slum and blighted area by the Department of Urban Renewal. In both cases, vendors adjusted their location and continued to vend. Today, only 6 blocks remain of Maxwell Street between Union and Blue Island Streets. The market has moved west of Halsted along streets bordering a 12-block area of cleared lots south of Roosevelt Road to 15th Street. Some businesses remain on Halsted and Maxwell Streets, and the market continues on Sunday, but both areas are targeted for the south expansion of the University of Illinois at Chicago. Like most business people, Pancho learns from other businessmen about making his vending activities easier and more certain. The first problem Pancho had to solve was acquiring a space to occupy permanently. Usually such spaces are inherited or purchased. Pancho inherited his space from a fellow Mexican vendor. Other vendors for whom Pancho temporarily occupied space while the owner was on vacation referred Pancho to the vendor who was vacating a vending location. Pancho explains, "The space I have now, the man who sold sweatshirts, he gave that space to me. I knew him from friends who I sold with, and he gave me the space. I'm established here, and many people now go looking for me here." Pancho's temporary replacement of vendors who occupied other spaces produced the contact that established a relationship with the vendor who offered Pancho his space. With the acquisition of a permanent space, Pancho changed from an occasional Sunday vendor to a daily market businessman. Pancho has a son who accompanies him to the market. He is always excited about his son's presence. Carlos is 10 years old and likes to go with his father to the flea market. Pancho says it's important that his son learn the responsibility of earning his own money. Carlos earns $10 each Sunday he helps his father and is saving for a new bicycle. Pancho's 2 younger daughters are not yet old enough for the flea market, so they help with the business at home with Pancho's wife. So the reasons and ways children are involved in the vending activities varies for various reasons having to do with the household means and views of the parents. But for all children, vending becomes both a learning and money-making experience. Pancho found that his wife was more than support. Her retail sales experience made all the difference in purchases he made and the prices he set for his items. He explains that her prior experience in retail helped him become more aware of the price of labor, leather costs, and profit margin. He now knows that he has several buying options when purchasing leather, whether it be by the pound, by foot length, or better yet, on special. This example of help with decision-making shows how different household members bring resources from additional experiences that contribute to the vending activity. Pancho's wife does not join him at vending. She cares for the younger children at home, but her support in both decision-making and caretaking roles is invaluable to Pancho's vending business.
See, it's hard to get a spot in the center because all the old-timers have it sold up. They have to start on the edge and work themselves in. Because, you know, you got cats been coming down here for 20 and 30 years. They're not going to just let anyone come in because they really don't trust everybody, you know. Like, you went out here with the camera, if a bouncer went down here, would nobody even probably talk to you.
How do vendors find a space to vend at? Between 1912 and the 1970s, a city-appointed market master regulated where vendors could set up. Since then, vendors have allocated space among themselves with a complex but flexible system of space allocation. First, a vendor purchases, inherits, or rents the right to vend from a particular space. The city ordinance that suggests first come, first served is ignored by vendors, except when in their interest. Vendors mark their space in various ways. For instance, renting tables to display their goods, or marking space with spray paint or used tires. These physical markers are important, but most important are the social relationships vendors participate in, supporting each other's claims to a particular space.
There's many people whose business is actually cleaning out basements for people.
Yeah. I think I was about 16 years old when I started working down here. Yeah.
Ideas of how they kind of
That sounds better too.
The 100 sound better.
All depends on what end you're on.
100 even look better.
it's just easier to carry.
Yeah. I'm fed up with the jobs, that they offered you, and the way, the American way where they said, you go on a job, work so many years, you wouldn't have to worry about nothing. But, that's not true anymore. So this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to retire as a vendor, I'm going to work for myself. Open market like this, you meet people, and people will refer you to other people, and then, that's how I got most of my connections, by referrals,
Do you ever get hassled here by anybody?
Oh, yeah, get hassled by the police regularly.
And could you elaborate on that a little bit?
A lot of merchandise that you buy from flea markets and different places, you don't get receipts with, but you're supposed to log them. A lot of times you forget to log them, and then you get hassled. They come down and figure you have stolen merchandise. But in all cases, I take them and show them where I bought it or tell them where I bought it. They refer that. Like, I even got arrested once, and they took me down and kept me for about 4 hours, and they had to let me go because all the merchandise was clean. All the merchandise was clean. Okay, this exact spot here was a spot from older fellas that, came down years ago. And they died off, and I inherited this spot from them. This spot here go back about 40 years or older. I was real young when I came down and started working with them. So they died off, and I guess when I die off, I leave it to somebody else.
Next time I come down here.
Thank you. Did you bring all these cameras with you or what? No. Yeah, you are?
Actually, I bought into this business from Tony over there. He took over when George the Spice Man passed away. Tony took over, and he had it 2 years, and I've been here 4 years. And I've kind of expanded it since I'm not retired and I live off this. I do it all week long. I mail order, wholesale, and do my own blending. So it's not just price, I have good quality.
I don't know, that's where I picked up my abilities from watching my mom and this community and watching how it survived. And I guess I picked up the necessaries to do that. Mm-hmm. I attended a private grammar school, a private high school, and a private college, and I did the latter on academic and athletic scholarships. I guess my contact with the law came in the early 70s, and I was experimenting with drugs. Whatever, just drugs per se. I did that for, say, 15 years on and off until I realized that I couldn't progress. I'd always, just to interject that I went to jail and would get out and be clean or abstinent from drugs for a period of time, and consequently with the crowd that I ran in with, I'd be back into the same thing, day in, day out. Again, like I said, consequently, I realized that to no avail. Today I try to eliminate all illegal practices. I'm not saying that I'm above the law. I'm just saying that I try to stay within the working realms of society. I want to stay on the right side of the fence because there's no future in it. I'm 40 years old now, and how much, if I go back to the penitentiary or back to jail, how much life will I have left? You know, I like to live that out here. And I got kids. You know, I got grandkids now. I want to see some of that grow. I want to see some of my efforts go to some good. I needed a discipline to extract the funds necessary to continue to reinvest. I could see myself on Sunday making $200, $300, $500, and Monday spending $300 to $500, as opposed to saying making $200 and exacting $50 for the necessaries and then taking $150 and reinvesting it, because I know if I come down the following week with enough product, then and reinvest $150, the next week I got maybe $300 to go home with.
So there's a particular discipline that you've developed, I
Right.
suppose.
I have some cash at my disposal. Some people, very few will accept checks, but usually I try to retain an amount of cash at hand so that people usually know if they come to me or if I'm around looking, and most people, vendors, know me. They know that I'm trying to make a purchase, and they'll give me the best buy. My future plans are to buy a house that I'd like to spend some time renovating, initiating all my ideas and dreams, you know, build my bathroom like I want to. And that's what, in 10 years, that's what I would like to be able to do. Have the money allotted to purchase or acquire the piece of property, and to, for the next 5-10 years, create my dream, you know, my living dream, you know. Other than that, financially, I hope to be, no, I don't hope to be. I know I'll be self-sustaining. I won't depend on Social Security or any other pension plan. I'm going to depend on what I have set aside for myself to take care of myself and my immediate family.